And so now you have brought things that are appropriate for Halloween.
I have,
Which one of these little pumpkin creatures can we create?
We're going to make this one today.
Oh, good.
But I've brought a number of different things, different variations of place settings, and then 2 pieces that are similar to pieces I make all year. And then on the other side of the table, those are pieces that I designed for Midwest of Cannon Falls, a company that I work with.
These are so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So those are just little objects.
Yeah, just little decorations.
Tchotchkes.
Tchotchkes.
Okay.
I like tchotchkes.
I like tchotchkes too.
And so what we're going to do is we've cut 2 pieces of wool felt.
Okay.
And what I've done with both of ours is I've dyed them. So mine is dyed with just coffee, and yours was dyed with a fabric felt.
Oh.
Because I just like to sort of soften the color a little bit.
So what do you mean fabric felt? What's
Or
that?
I'm sorry, fabric dye.
Oh, okay.
It's felt.
Yes,
we
it is
dyed
felt.
it with dye.
Okay, good.
And so what we're going to do is start by making the head. I'm using waxed thread, and we're going to go just make a running stitch along the outside of this circle.
Okay.
We're going to gather
gather
that.
it up. Now,
Yep,
about
exactly.
every 1/8 of an inch? Or
About at every 1/8 to a quarter of an inch
okay.
works.
So we go all the way around.
And once you get that all the way around, we're stuffing it with wood shavings.
Okay.
And the wood shavings, it's Excelsior. You can find it in your local craft stores. And there's a big loop. Once you get it all the way around, I've used this loop, and I go through that loop twice with the needle.
Oh, to pull?
To pull it. And so once you pull that, it's going to actually hold instead of just pulling it,
okay.
and it wouldn't hold otherwise. So you
you-
pull
oh, I
that really
see.
tight. And then last time I came in, we talked about hemostats being my favorite crafting tool. And you can, once you actually
Hemostats are medical clamps.
They are, and they're used to clamp blood vessels, I think.
I know.
But I
know
use
all
them
about them.
I use them all the time in my studio. They're my absolute favorite thing.
One reason that Jennifer used this waxed twine for waxed thread is it's really strong and it will not snap. If you were using like a cotton thread to do what I'm doing, I'm putting a lot of pressure on this gathering.
To pull it all the way tight,
and it would really break if I didn't.
You can also use dental floss if you don't have that, but I know that the source is on your website if you guys, if anybody wants it.
So now, if any of this little stuff is hanging out,
you can use the hemostats to just push it right back in.
Okay,
so once you have the whole ball made, we're going to basically just start to put on these little black lines. And what we're doing with that is we're using just a black floss.
Yes.
And I'm going to go through the bottom.
So cute.
And come up through the top. And you just wrap it around.
Through the top?
Through the top. Yep. Exactly
oh, I see.
like
you're
that.
doing the
We're
ribs.
doing the little ribs. Yeah.
Oh, the ribs of the pumpkin. Okay.
And then go back down, and you can keep going around.
Oh, I see.
To make, and you can do it quite randomly to make your little pumpkin line. So once you have all the lines on, you're going to go ahead and start putting the face on. And I'm just using straight stick pins. You can you can put on a little glue behind it to make everything stick. And the nose goes in the center.
This really works very well.
It works really well. That's the beauty of Excelsior. When you're talking about heirloom toys, Excelsior is sort of the thing that I always love to use.
And it's crunchy.
Because it's crunchy and you can stick things into it, unlike cotton fiber fill where it just wouldn't work.
So now we need to put on...
You're going to put on the little mouth, and then what I've done is just use a pinking shear and then cut off a crescent beneath it. And then put a little bit of glue on the mouth. Let me show you how to put the head onto the body.
Okay.
So what I'm using is this giant craft needle, and you can get this there for doll making. And they're really useful when you're working with Excelsior. So you're going to poke a hole in the bottom of the head and just sort of open up a space.
Okay.
And we're going to use some heavy wire, stick that into it, and fill this whole opening with some glue. And the reason why we're using the wire is because I don't really like hot glue. I find that it comes apart quite easily, but if you can secure...
And my glue doesn't.
Your glue doesn't.
Ah, how nice.
Exactly. And then we're going to open up a space in the body and stick those 2 pieces together.
Okay. In this part of the body, or is that the bottom?
That's the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So, yep, on that side.
Okay.
Yep. And then you're just going to stick those 2 together and let that dry. And the great thing about that is you can sort of move it around and you can
Do you put a little glue down here?
You can, or you can just put it on one side, either way.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll just put
like
a little bit.
And then once that's all dry, we're going to put the arms and legs on.
Okay.
And we're going to make the arms and legs out of pipe cleaners. And I've got these fantastic cotton pipe cleaners, and they're quite thick. So what I've done is I've just taken the scissors and kind of carved down the one side, and we're going to thread that through the needle. And this needle is so thick that you can actually get it through there, which is really nice. and fold that over. And then you're going to stick it through where you want the arms to be.
You just have to make up your mind. Just
That's right.
jab them.
You can rotate the needle a little bit and stick it right through. So you're going to do that twice, and then you're going to get the arms and legs through. And the arms are a little bit too long, so what I'm going to do is cut off the arms.
Yes.
To shorten those.
Like for how long?
I like them to be about
proportionate.
Yeah, proportionate. You know, it's kind of, everybody can make their own.
Yes.
And then fold the legs in. I like the legs to be a little bit wider, and what I'm going to do is just sort of stick them back into that original hole.
Oh, okay.
Fold them up.
Oh, so fun.
And
these are wonderfully involved and creative crafts. As you can see, these are amazingly well made too.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, really beautiful. So the legs are going to.
Yep, they're just going to get folded in.
Okay.
And then I have this one that's all done, and I've trimmed down the arms and legs. And what we're going to do is we're going to use little brads and fabric leaves to make a bow tie and some little buttons. And then basically to finish it, we're just going to put a little leaf on the top.
Oh, okay. A little leaf head?
Yep, a little leaf head, and then we're going to coil that around to make a little corkscrew, because we were just talking about how much you love to have the stems on the pumpkins when you go buy them. And then the final touch is just going to be the little trick-or-treat banner.
I'm not keeping up with you.
It's fast.
I have so many little swap outs here. Very cute. Very beautiful.